Swamp Funk DJ. I'm marked as all. You should be able to see my feet in case I break off into some demonstration. I don't know. I'm downhill from here to downhill. Starting to sprinkle. Active MOORS, more active. A, Allah. B, born. C, the ones marked like that. D, E, G, U, and C. They got a lot of key stuff that you can read, like very well thought out. Some of it are direct quotes. Some of them are direct quotes. A, B, C, D, E, G, U. Right? You make the connections. That's when I got another F. It's a lot like Jeffrey Epstein. Read that. See, a lot of that got detailed information on key points I made in this series of Active MOORS, More Active. I titled it that because we are told by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali to be active MOORS, not passive. In this day and time, it's a heck of a juggling act to be active MOORS, not passive, because it's a lot of weight on us just to have to represent ourselves to the world on a daily, because it is being contested whether or not we are in full life versus lost at sea, or talkness versus from the Eastern Hemisphere, from the continent now called Africa, and so on and so on. The contest whether we are chattel or a living soul. Not only that, heir to this estate. That's when it gets really heavy. And that's the root cause of the prisoner of war camp misdirection, miseducation. Because the best way, the easiest way to war against us and prevail and go even further, to go into the land, the air, the water, the sea, in violation of the acronym LAWS for land, air, water, sea, which is law, all law, supreme law of the land. In violation of that, no regard for the tax in gold, real gold, not what you get from the jewelry store, real gold, like Fort Knox grade or better gold, rose gold, good gold, silver and whatnot. We were supposed to receive taxes to the tune of probably tons by now. How much does the earth weigh? Like 6 trillion tons? Actual facts? Don't quote me on that. How much does the earth weigh? Yeah, earth. Like 6 trillion tons? Perhaps. So much is old. He saw, transliterated Q-I-S-A-S. That first S, I think, is Saul. The last S is probably seen. Paul. Cussor. Right? Saul. Fatah. scene, I think. Cashapp. I think that's why I'm pronouncing it like this. Cashapp. I think that's a sword. Then a scene at the end. That's blood tax, indemnity for any type of struggle. It could be one-on-one. If I take a person's life, I owe his family my blood, or they could take payment not to exceed some type of ceiling, not to go beneath some type of floor. Now, the breaking of treaties, the parading around on the world stage, acting as government, acting as judges, acting as attorneys, while being nothing of the sort. So recently, the Biden administration, along with Kamala, who is not from over here, Biden is a nanobot clone looking thing that is supposedly like some type of Albayan, but we all know they were some of the first ones that came over here in this hemisphere with the land grab, that the government was forcibly removing us from certain swaths of land while telling them from the eastern hemisphere to come over here. And when by the time you get the new Statue of Liberty with the chains at the foot, they were telling the nations of foreign to come bring your poor, depressed, and da-da-da-da. This was supposed to be the land of liberty. All the while, they were in cahoots with the dirty Moors, the baby kids over here, or talking us to here, who switched out on everybody over here and sided with the conquistadores, the so-called explorers, the pirates of the high seas, who came to apply admiralty law upon the earth plane. Eventually, the prisoner of war camps indoctrinated ideology into our mind and heart, misinformation, a change of narrative, so that we would not have here and here the drive to come here and stand up for this, and to go into this matter, the creation, and continue like we left off in the 1400s, early 1500s, and 1600s, and even early 1700s, to create whatever you see that is sold in the store, right? That you can buy online, that you can take somewhere home, mode of conveyance, which we call cars and trucks, even the mode of conveyance themselves. Majority of them were intellectual properties, with drafts on paper that started in someone's mind who is the so-called African American. That's within the confines of the United States. Midgard, you look it up. The real McCoy. What is the real McCoy? We can go on and on and on. The big blue mailbox that sits on the curb in the streets, that you put it in, it's like an army tank. Usually no one molests that big blue mailbox. That's a federal crime. And we can go on and on and on. The ice cream scoop, 31 flavors. You name it, 99.9% of the time, it was invented here by those who are taught in this here. Now, I previously just said, anywhere on the globe did original man originated. That's why the Great Danes in Europe area, called Europe, they had to pay them taxes, the Albayan. They start calling it blackmail. All this during the period when they were being taken from the Yakubian experience stage up into the stage they can pretty much function like an autochthonous individual. Arm, leg, arm, head, heart. Spirit, some say they don't have a soul. I don't know. Now, these are the ones that eventually whitewash history and put someone that looks like them in illustration, in the carving, in the bust, right, around the world, while they hid a lot of the original artifacts away somewhere, Smithsonian, the Vatican, but not in your textbooks, not even college. And they paraded around the world stage from the 1700s, mid to late 1700s, to right now, even at the fall. The white man got a God complex. The black hand, Chief Rod likes to talk about in the background, like Geppetto and Pinocchio, the liar, when the nose, or the Gnostic, or the Gnostic grows, the Gnostic, the nose, grows, he's probably telling the untruth. Right? And Geppetto, the black hand or melanated hand, control the wood dummy, peckerwood dummy, Pinocchio. So the black hand, a lot like the hand you see on The Godfather. They also have a puppet thing with the strings hanging from. You can make the puppet do things and be a ventriloquist or whatever. Hold your mouth like this and make the puppet stick. Hey, I ain't the puppet. Right? So the black hand has always been there. Many of the paintings we see in school and whatnot, or the museum, the guide a lot of times would say that was the hand, that was the butler, that was the maid. A lot of times their head would be wrapped in a turban. Maybe like a handkerchief scarf like you'll find in an Arab store today. But if you know anything about keeping house, maintaining personal hygiene, who is more uncivilized? The one with the wrap on the head or the one with the hair? Well, I bend down and my locks fall into some dog shit and there's lice running all through. And the one who knows he had to live with something like that, they would wash on the regular, put oil in there like tea tree oil to keep out the bed bugs and stuff like that, right? The lice, and they'll wrap it up. Sometimes they like to touch your hair. Hey. You get into metaphysics, voodoo and whatnot, hoodoo. You don't let just anybody touch your hair. These are antenna for one. One occupation of the hair. You make the connection. You make the connections past, present, future, so to speak. The time wave or timeline, right? However you want to talk about it. 5D, 3 dimensions. I link the piracy on the high seas from the 1400s at the behest of the Vatican, Pope of the time of late 1400s, the Bullock, all the way up to Wayne Bertram Williams, Bertram. That was in the 80s when they put him out there and broadcasted the murders of the Atlanta child murders. And they could not come with just about anybody but a so-called American, black American. I forgot where he was native to, what state, what city, who was a Hollywood elite type behind the scenes. He wasn't a Michael Jackson, right? What he was a musician. He could sing, he could write music, he could write lyrics. He was a recording producer. He had a studio. Much of the forensic files came from his apartments where this type of stuff was located. In essence, he was a puffy of the 80s. But him going down and never coming back out that I know about, he couldn't go up and rise up like Puffy to start his own record company and put out A-list artists. In the background, he's on the A-list of Epstein. And it is pretty much a known fact. Whitney Webb, for one, just off the top of my head, W-H-I-T-N-E-Y, space, W-E-B-B, I think, has gone so deep down the labyrinth of the rabbit hole when it comes to Epstein, Puffy, and she like goes this way, not too much down there like Jaguar Wright and Gene Gill. They go beneath Epstein and Puffy. Kind of like here and just a little bit above Puffy. Clyde Davis. This Whitney Webb, she goes like the 4th of July fireworks. Start naming names, you gotta go research. I never heard of these names, but she builds on it. She tells you who they are. What corporation? What are the holdings? What makes them relevant to the Epstein case and a lot of other issues around the world that we have heard on the news. Corporation, corporate America, the World Corporation, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, she's up there in the stars. Whitney Webb. So don't think just I don't call certain people's name out or cite certain publications I've read or whatever, I'm just going off what Arcel said. Chief Rod said, I'm just a puppet. I'm just ear hustling. I do my bit of research. You know I do. I'm juggling. The attacks are real. I just uploaded reel about 2 hours long, discussing in the beginning, when I woke up this morning and got out of bed, I had some fresh stuff going through my head. See, the conspiracy that had me killed by someone that looks a lot like me, or is a fit the description a lot about like the type that I soldier for on behalf of as an activist. They have been trying to divide and conquer when it comes to me for the longest. So I wouldn't be surprised if I was like an undercover cop for Dania Beach or Hollywood. I wouldn't be surprised. But he's a light complected, brown skin, heavy Spanish accent. I was thinking of pee. I was thinking of pee. I was thinking of pee. Trying to say he was trying to take a piss right up against my car, and his dick is made of steel, and it was mistakenly going into my door jamb trying to work the lock. Clickety clack clack clack. That sound like pee hitting the grass, hitting the asphalt. I doubt it. I was stirred to wait. He's on my right. I'm facing north, 17th, right? In Fillmore. I'm like in 17th Fillmore. That's the location. Longitude, latitude. I can see the front lot, the south lot of what was Roadway Inn. Now it's called some other shit. Long ass fucking name. I don't even fucking remember because I just found out on Google Maps today. Now, when I stirred up that silhouette that's right jammed between my side view mirror and my front door and the glass, it moved furtively, real quick, like a wave toward the sidewalk. The car's on the side of the street. It's still asphalt, just like the street, but it's clearly not moving traffic space. It's parked cars lined all the way up north 17th Avenue. So now, they got the grass short, so I should look out for the snake. Big iguanas, be creeping up on me. My squirrel friend eating some nuts I put down. You might not take them raisins. I see you leave them raisins for last. Might be too sweet for him. You like them nuts though. I don't know if it's the same one. I don't tag them like they do in wildlife. Name them and tag them. I just feed them. Right? So now, first I gotta fight the urge. Classic true Jamil fashion. I thought it was in the morning, like 3, 4. I went back and researched, according to Google Map timeline, that was more like 11:47. Because it didn't take long before like 11:52 or something like that. They say the car started moving, according to the timeline, Google Map. So around 11:47, I fought the urge to get out that car, cut it off, and approach him and commence to beating this faggot ass. But that wouldn't be wise. You could barely see. The street is lined with cars, shrubbery. It's a big old golf course, like with a ritzy country club, like some wealthy people country club, not just an average Joe golf course, right? And the residential area to the west is very nice. It's a few Catholic churches and stuff. There's a big one across Federal. But right here on 17th, it's a little smaller one. They probably connected to the big one over there across Federal. Nice home, the older home, but it's still a nice neighborhood. But it's a lot of little nooks and crannies. I see a lot of raccoons and stuff. I spent a lot of time in that roadway right there. It's called something else. Something Inn Suites, or Suites Inn. Long name. Downtown Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. So, I know not to get out of there. Car already running. I put it in gear, rolled the window down. Really? Really? Yeah, really? So, I'm starting to take a pic. He jump on the bike and take off, try to haul that. I do a little donut to light up the area around me, see if I see somebody. When the light hit him, he go on like a almost dark, like pea green jacket. More like windbreaker-like size, not a big jacket. I think I saw like tan khaki cargo, kind of like ish, tennis shoe on a bike. So he hauling ass. I shot up North 17 toward Johnson. Hit Johnson, spent around, and put the lights on the sidewalk to highlight him coming up. He was smart enough not to keep going when he saw me passing that direction. He was smart enough to ride toward the end. It's gonna take him a minute, but he ain't coming. It's real flat here, flat land. You can see far. He know better. Now, that's very, very key to what I've been talking about the assassination attempt, the passive aggressive. I have not been able to carry a firearm legally and lawfully since 1994/95, especially when they convicted me of a false charge in a kangaroo court, knowingly. They have conspired even up to the governor in the clemency office. The clemency office. I won't say board, because they took a lie, which was a petty untruth, and they lied and said that the clerical workers there said that I had not satisfied my court costs, but I did. I had on record, and it is on record on their records, the call to a male who told me the exact dollar amount down to the penny that I needed to pay in order to consider that caught up. I did that. So down the line, when my clemency package went through, it's a bitch answered the phone, sound like a black bitch. The bitch lied and said, and they wrote me, they responded in writing first. And they said I gotta wait 8 years. Mind you, this is should be before 2022 January. They say I gotta wait 8 years to file another clemency package, but this one is denied because I haven't satisfied their plan. Yet another delay tactic. So now, not only I gotta walk unstrapped, this fag just passed the law in Florida, they can have open carry. When a lot of his type is trying to fight Trump and tell him let the illegal immigrants stay. That's probably who that was. Trying to get it out the mud because he can't get no damn job. Most of us can't. Trump laying off executive board people, type people, corporate type people from government jobs. They definitely can't get no job. They getting off the mud, out the mud. They stealing. They stealing so bad, you gotta lock up in CVS and all that. You can't even pick up a piece of toothpaste, a piece of soap. CVS, Walgreens, they locking everything. It's too much theft. This one of the main places here in Texas where them motherfuckers coming in, committing crime left and right, and they'll pick up a nigga like me like they did in 1994 and they never found out who did that to Marguerite and Maurice Young. But fat ass Officer William behind, take my motherfucking ass to Metro Dade Inquisition's agent of Rome, impersonating an officer, but not duly elected to that office. Now, this fat faggot ass nigga filed that false arrest affidavit, filed it with the clerk of courts, Harvey Rubin back then, right? Catherine Fernandez Rundle and all them, and they all got together and conspired to take this, knowing good and damn well, if I don't do nothing else, I can at least make money being security FOI. On the FOI private company, a lot of them do private security, not just Nation Islam. They'll just start their own company. EIN Dun & Bradstreet, a lot like Hannibal Security, right? And they will hire people left and right, Christian, Muslim, whatever, as long as you got the credential. Sometimes you don't need a gun. If you do, okay, come on. Get that gun, hurry up and come on. Have gun real travel. So them figure Fugazi took my ability to run it right when they murdered Scooby Brown, the most likely person to be toward me and Slimzo like Harry O. We beat Puffy to the game, Jay-Z to the game. We out there. F the industry. We in the streets of Atlanta, the mecca of hip-hop. Decatur, the mecca of hip-hop. The Atlanta International Airport, the world has to go there for layover flights and whatever. You get over there, convention center, the hotel, the Radisson and all that kind of stuff, hand to hand coming, giving it out. It's going all over the world. They trying to stop this. Why? Because we're not beholden. We have no fiduciary obligations to anybody in the industry. Barry Gordy, you name it. Quincy Jones, you name it. No. You ain't got no monopoly on my soul, on my talent. Fuck, nigga. And I put it out there. Message to the black man, black peace. Yeah. Peace be upon the one. Yeah. Put all that out there. They know it's coming. They tried to lock me up there, take me to Stone Mountain Judicial. I got finesse, debonair, pretty black locks flowing through my hair. Yeah, they ain't doing it. It ain't happening. Come to Miami, it still ain't happening. They doing the petty job. Get to the judge, he's on oath. The Constitution and the treaty. He has insurance bond. He not buying. Throw that out. ROR. Pre-trial, drop that. That's BS. Until Officer William B. Hine, fat line behind Metro Dade Nitro came along. May 18, 1994. And submitted a false arrest affidavit. Judge Leslie B. Rothenberg came along. The author here, Attorney Nasheed Sabir, came on my behalf to present my argument in court, not represent me. I am present and accounted for in full life when I am there, making a special appearance. So therefore, upon entering almost in the room of the court, room players, he sees the victims and the witness. Maurice Young, Marguerite Cedrons, or whatever, however you say that, the mother, father, and all that kind of people. And they say, hey, the trial's about to start, hearing. Why y'all, they say Officer Hine told us, not they say, not me. They say Officer Hine. I say Inquisition Agent of Rome Pirate, William B. Hine, Metro Dade, Nitro. They say Officer Hine told us not to come. That's an author hearing. First of all, 3.180J, I have the right to confront my accusers. They told the COs, Amir Williams and all them, lose my jacket. The Gant twins, lose his jacket. Don't let him in. Whoever was down at the catwalk. Movement took me there from the stockade, I think, or the county. I'm not sure exactly where I was housed at the time. But they didn't take me all the way across the catwalk into the courtroom where the courtroom players are having this hearing, or author hearing. Because from what I told Nasheed Sabir, the attorney, I didn't even have a gun. I don't know what he's talking about. They never got a gun from me or the area, but it's armed robbery. I should have a bond. Blase Squad. We're trying to get a bond. Mind you, this is 94. I keep telling you, they went into like 1999 mode in 93 when I got here. It just wasn't on the record yet. The legislature, right? And all them, they hadn't quite put together habitual violent offender, habitual violent crime, and habitualizing, all that. That wasn't quite in yet. We still had the old game time. They hadn't switched up the game time yet. Definitely wasn't 10-20 life. That's Jeb Bush, if I'm not mistaken. That should be his brother Jeb did that as governor under his watch. But they railroaded me. See, that's the old way to do 3 strikes out and all that bull jive. Railroad, you get them on the first offense. Right? Kangaroo court, just lie. Hang him, whatever. Draw and quarter, tarred and feather, whatever. Burn him at the stake, whatever. Behead him, chop his head off, whatever. Just lie. Who gives a F? Right? So now, they didn't go in the courtroom. I didn't go in. They conducted an author hearing in absence of the only people who can say anything about what happened. Denied me the bond. So still no bond. I had to do a year. So when I got sentenced to a year, when them illegal immigrants with falsified documents done went to HUD home in Section 8, posing as citizens and whatnot, with fake ID and fake Social Security and fake, that's who was on the jury panel. Rothenberg knew it too. Now, they decided, everybody except looked like the Albayan, the one like a white boy. They decided, the majority decided to go with the courtroom antics of the state prosecutor. He was the only one about convinced that I didn't. Officer Hine didn't even try to lie. He even got caught in lies. They said, well, where you coming with the gun? He smiled and shrugged his shoulders. Because the witness and the victim didn't say, they say that man had something like this. They don't make guns that you can hide doing this. That man's hand was this wide, this big, right? The stenographer lied. They said that Maurice Young, the boy, said that, yes, he did see the man in the courtroom who robbed his sister or whatever. In actuality, he did not have a verbal answer to that question of the state, nor the defendant attorney, Nasheed Sabir. His answer was this: I took the fifth, so I couldn't interject. I'm gonna lean on that fifth. At Nasheed Sabir's insistence, I rolled with it because I know they ain't got nothing. I don't know they gonna do what they did. So when he did like this, Nasheed Sabir was supposed to say, no, we need a verbal response, 1. 2, if he did this, the universal meaning is no. Just like if you do that, cut it out, no. You do this, that's yes. This Yes. That's yes. That's yes. He did this. And his spirit was like an older cat, like, y'all with this bullshit. My sister got robbed. You wasted all that time. He saw it. The helicopters, the dogs, the big rider, Penske trucks and all that full of soldiers on jump out and steam, and kind of thing. Right? Robbery detail, whoever that was, it was a bunch of them. Came around the corner. I'm in the back. All automatics. Ain't nobody doing this click clack. Trained on my head. What that mean? You think they gonna stop and do that when I make a move? No, it's done. One in the head. At least 12 coming, and I know that ain't all. That's just the one just came around. Right? The dog was passing me. I think Hein might have had that dog. The dog was taking him somewhere else. But Hein thought, look, underneath something. The dog pulling him away. He looked, it was me. Ran, because when he jumped over that curb on 83rd and jumped out, reaching all the way, he ain't shooting me. So the first thing I did was walk toward him. And he relaxed, got his hand away from his waist. He ain't fumbling around like he's trying to draw. And he began to talk to me, and I began to act like I'm gonna talk to him. I cut out. Across the tree, across the lot, to the west side of Nasty Red front porch. Gone. To the north side. Gone. Hopping fence and realized, boy, I don't know the neighborhood. I don't know where the Doberman at, the rock. Why they just, some dogs just killed the woman. Going to work at Walmart in Miami Gardens. And on the news the other day, they had a red pit, a black one looked like might be a rock, and some other one. But the owner say, no, that wasn't mine. He said, I doubt very seriously that was mine. So they were still, at the last time I looked at that story, they still looking, trying to find out which dogs it was that jumped on and mauled her to death. The lady like 70 something, going to work at Mart. See, this is the plight, the how you call that? The plight that they put me in just based off one lie. I could have died that day at his gun, which he probably didn't have the heart to do it at the time, because he knew what he was doing at the time. He could look at me and see. I'm not 6 feet. I'm not 250 pounds, like 150, 148. Smoking boom, right? On slight sometime. I'm about 146, 148. 5'9". He knew that wasn't me. When he did the victim ID, the streets over there wide. Because you got a lot of piece that's not street, but it's not sidewalk either. Like grass or something. A whole car can fit right there. Not be on the sidewalk, not be in the street. Then you got the street, which is a two-way. So it's wide as a four-way, plus you got sidewalk on each side. Maurice them on the sidewalk doing like this. Listening to Hein. Yes, no, whatever, he talking. Hein eventually got in the car with me. Before he could leave, dude with a zero came up. Moabite looking, melanated, olive tone, brown skin. Hey, what's up, what's happening over here? He say, that was a robbery, man. He ain't do it, but I'm gonna make it stick. He say he looked like a robber. Pulled off. Hein got me in the car, finishing up his A form. We used to have to do it on paper back then. You got a pink slip, a yellow slip, and I think a blue. Right? A light pastel blue, pastel pinkish, and a yellow. I call them yellow pages. I think our copy usually be yellow. Sometimes they hand you the pink, keep the yellow. I call them yellow pages. Now, that's the affidavit, arrest affidavit. They never did a victim ID. He lied and said he did a victim ID in court room with the courtroom players, the Magi, the attorneys at law, the esquires and whatnot, the magicians, applying admiralty law on the land in violation of the Constitution and treaty, conducting human trafficking. He said that that day, May 18, 1994, he did a victim ID on the spot and they ID'd me as to, that's a lie. I had to stay in jail a year, the solar solstice cycle, before it came to light in the triad. Tri-Ali, Tri-Bay, Tri-Day, right? Tri-Air, Triad. Trying the autochthonous in full life as if he's chattered, right? Trying as if he's lost at sea, trying as if he acquiesced to anything related to human trafficking and the captain's diminution maximus. I have not been hypothecated by Rome. That is a construct, void ab initio. They did it anyway, because the last ace in the hole, them officers come into the courtroom, which they're not supposed to come in the courtroom with it, they got it. You got the correctional officers in the handcuffs, in the mace. I'm under threat, duress, and coercion. Make no bones about it. Now, they sentenced me to a year credit time served, followed by a year probation. By the time me and Slimzo and Stone out chiefing on that red hair cess, my probation was over. It's July, fuck, nigga. 4th of July, fuck, nigga. My probation was up in May. Definitely the 18th. Going on Ice House. Got like a case of Ice House. Smoking that red hair cess, I'm barbecuing, nigga. I got my stepdaddy Eddie Kareem Abdullah secret recipe to the sauce. And I know how to char that thing good on the grill. Cook it real good, like a nigga would. The whole family was about to bite their fingers off. I had some marinated in the refrigerator by the time they locked me up, because they got me the next evening. That shit was still in the refrigerator marinated. My sister told me, boy, that stuff was good as hell. But we fucked that shit up, boy, you can cook. Yeah. That's when an assassin I thought was trying to take Slim's old life. I ain't lying. It was two, and I don't think they was by themselves. That's why when Slimzo said, let it ride, short, I know. That's that Hollywood talking now. That's that video and that studio and that movie and all them deals and stuff. No, never uproot from where you came from. That's bullshit. This is real. This heart beating in my chest, this blood racing through my veins, I'ma stay alive, baby. I see a plot. I conducted warfare after warfare after warfare in Atlanta, Decatur. This is one of my main spots I know like the back of my hand. I can walk through the woods for miles and not lose my way and not come back out to the streets and check where I'm at. I know that shit. Now, it looks like to me, for you know, at BP, service merchandise, I gotta do like this. I-20 that way, to the south. BP gas used to be the service merchandise parking lot open way up. You could fit 1 million, all the Rick Ross cars in there and still have some room in the parking lot. You got places on the backside, right by I-20 in the woods you can hide and whatever. But right across from BP, you got Long John. So therefore, if nobody down there at Bimbo can see good and clear at BP, somebody definitely right, because once you get to Long John parking lot to the south of Wendy's, at that point, All it takes somebody to probably with a flashlight or some headlights on the car to let them know that these dudes at BP signal to them, we going one way in, one way out in the Bronx in the car. They can signal that way over there right by partner 69, right where we going. They can flash, it'll be two flashes. Flash here, right? Somebody over here at BP or the parking lot serving merchandise. Somebody right there Long John or something. If you can't see down there by Econo, it should be, in Admiral Bimbo Inn, Club Michael. Right up in there, between them two, the two last buildings, is what line up with 69. Where you can flash a headlight there 2-3 times. So the ones right around his front and back fucking dope can know that's the sign they come. And anywhere from here to there, it could be on. And all I know is and y'all know how we get down. If you know, we know. If you know, you know. When I was there living, we ain't lose too many. We lost Mark Dixon, right? To some bullshit. I think that was on the west side. Some like Crip shit. Crippin' blood or crippin' somebody on some gang bang. Cause back then, you ain't had too many niggas from down here on, nah, probably some latchkey kids, some Jerry kids, some foster home act. Most niggas had their clips. And most of it was like IMP. We couldn't really side with no Miami gangs and Atlanta gang cause we had friends everywhere. So we let every man be a man. Right? A lot of us G's was affiliated. Even with the Atlanta gang, even with the Miami gang. Everybody want no tutu ass. Everybody ain't no untouchable in Blase Squad. We gonna get our respect. That's all we want. Right? So if you know, you know. The last place they want to try me, him, Dirty Dozen, and a lot of other people. You got miles in each direction. See? I-20 to the south. Eastwick to the east. Tilson Road, the Mike Murphy chapter of Down by Law, to the north. To the west, you got Gresham Road. Gresham Road boys and a whole lot more shit on to Atlanta and beyond. Right? I-20 to the south, beyond that Rainbow, all that down that way. Even past 285. Player, if you know, you know. The year 1996, come on, man. And these niggas OB. I knew it. You know why I knew it? A lot of people who ain't Eastwick or Down by Law can be there like that. Chillin'. Right? We will walk right past it. Might try to sell them something, that's about it. Or ask for a light or something. Ask for $1, $5, that's it. And that's the people who know us. Some of them know our parents, they know the school we went to, know we worked at, know our girlfriend like that. They don't even do that. I can tell by the gang Z, by the drove, by the predisposition, leaning and all that. They ain't no squares like that. They kind of into something. They green. They lay to the game. By the youthful look, that's probably why. They really don't know their environs because that age category group right there, they ain't getting a lot of the lit that's coming out the hood like that. Because you got like generation gap going on. After a few years, a lot of them niggas, we got them in the dust. A lot of information they don't know because most of us didn't talk and tell. We just do. If you heard, you probably somebody's sister, mama, girlfriend, something like that. Big brother, little brother, something like that. Neighbor who was complicit, accessory after the fact, woody woo. Ain't too much of this shit. Till I pull a caper. These niggas want to open their mouth. Now, they don't know. They think they the best thing since sliced bread. Since chicken and waffle. They on the news. The current news of that day. new ideas, new solutions. That's the journalism constitution. By the time Dylan B. Mobley, Dylan had me locked up, they on the front page. By then he knew. Correction officer took me to meet up with the people who Miami sent, the Inquisition agents of Rome that Miami sent to get me for extradition purposes, to extradite me back to Miami, to face these charges about a fugitive. He called me a fugitive, put a fugitive warrant on me. Dylan Mobley, he lied, said I left town without permission. On my way out to meet them, the correction officer said, man, hey, what you did to him? What you talking about? You remember, He said, when we booked you in, he said, man, that man we brought in after you, remember? He said, man, whatever y'all do, don't put me in a cell with him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the first meeting. The second one, I'm like this, I'm pushing the bro. I got a passenger with me who I didn't lace up and tell him what was going on. I'm just going about my business, but he caught me in the middle of trying to see these people again, because like I told Slimzo, they coming back. I can feel things, I know things. I can tell by his predisposition. He doesn't know where he is. And he jacked up on where him and his people done. He got a power, he on a power trip. That shit gonna cease. Right? I put my life up. Before you take another Scooby Brown around me, you take me first. Because I'm going to stand in front of that type and deal with your type. Before you take another Mark Dixon around me, you have to deal with me first. That's how we get down. Those of us who get down. And I ain't finna have to go face such and such, such and such, such and such, even niggas I don't know. I'm still meeting niggas in their family. Still meeting old neighbors from old neighborhood, Mechanicville, Perry Home, Carver Home. Nigga, I never look them niggas in the face and tell them I thought what I thought. And I dropped that man off and left him by himself. Never would I do that. And I seen the need to do something right there. I felt that, I knew it. I thought, man, if I business bro and leave, I might get shot in the back of my, it's like that. If it's gonna be like that, put it in park. I told Slim, don't get out. It's less likely they'll show out. That's why I said. Being in the car like that is running. They know somebody in there. He's less likely he got out. And they showed out. They tried to jump. All right. Since they tried to jump, because everything was like this, empty hand. When they tried to jump him, all right, ... Let them tell you, I ain't gonna tell you shit. Told you enough. Now, the next night, SWAT around my mother's home and got me. Took me to DeKalb County Jail. I'm saying it right? DeKalb County Jail, yeah. Stone Mountain, DeKalb County Jail. That's DeKalb County. Held me for long enough for Miami to come get me. And on the way out, that's when the correction officer told me that. He said, man, that nigga said, whatever you do, don't put me in a cell with you. What you do to him? I ain't say nothing. I ain't do enough. He's still running his mouth. He in full life, I ain't doing nothing. I'm supposed to be civil leader more tools. Literally. See, they don't know where they stuck their hand, and if they know, he even stupider. Should have stayed out that shit. Let that be. One man deceased, 2 men in jail. That was really the end of it. But niggas like me was literally like, yeah, somebody got a problem with the fact that we got a problem with the fact they killed Scooby Brown, the niggas that's in jail. I don't even know they locked up. I think somebody else did it because what Slimzo told me back then. Then told me the feds watched it. Blah, blah, blah. So I ain't sweating him on a type of stuff me and Dirty doesn't know. Because feds watch it. And he running a record company. He out here in Dun & Bradstreet. I ain't stressing him on nothing. I'm mad at Dirty Dozen because ain't nobody pulled me to the side and like, because he got me thinking, dude's still out and free. He even gave a name that was the right name. I'm glad I wasn't that fucking mad to go at that nigga like I'm known to do by myself. Rapunzel let down here. I bet a nigga crib. Romeo, wherefore I by Romeo. I be at the crib, dog. For real. Probably when that nigga pull his sheet back, they lay in the bed, nigga lay right in my arm, slit his throat. Nigga, I get down. Now, I know niggas out there, we making songs. Goody Mob just came out. Their first album. Outkast should be working on their second one, something like it might be already out. Goody Mob first album on fire. Saya. Right? We loving that. Atlanta loving that. Decatur loving that. Finding somebody representing. We got our Southern playlist Cadillac music, but see Goody Mob, they got down. Like Wade, T-Mo, Cujo, Big Gilt, we got the boys on the low in their back. That's what Atlanta was missing. Some good representation like that. Southern Cadillac playlisted music, a lot of niggas ain't on that level. They ain't got it like that. They on crack, they on cocaine, they on child support, you name it. A cocktail of that shit. You know, a lot of niggas in jail trying to live, like Andre said, Andre 3000 said, Andre stop. Now the folks wanna, ooh-wee, I wish I wouldn't have been for real now. A lot of niggas was in prison behind it. Taking them, breaking that tip. We used to ride around with some keys hanging from the country like me. So when the police look through the tent, they'll see keys, now the screwdriver sticking out. So by the time Goody Mob Outkast came out, they had cracked down on a lot of stuff. Anybody who did not want to evolve with the time, they was going down. 99.9% of them going down. They beating up on your woman, all kind of stuff they grew up watching go down in the hood. Shooting crap just by anywhere, posting up anywhere all night, all times of night. They was stopping all open container. They were locking up all kind of shit. Don't even talk about no license, no insurance. So the music we putting out there is harder than anybody I know. Even Goody Mob. Me, Cedric Milton, aka Pee Wee. Slim's Old West, Q West, the photographer and all that. He's famous for that now. Photography. A lot of people in the rap industry probably know him for taking pictures and selling pictures of the stars and whatnot, and the fans. Q West, Vice Grip, that's explicit. Click Clack 3 Stove, that's Vice Grip. Explicit with Q West, right? Cedric Milton, we had Hot Rod, Trey A, Robinson, right? Slick Will, get it, Bill. We been block room and glad. We had Slick Will and a few more. That was Dirty Dozen. And I'd be like Evil E, Jeannie, the female Jeannie, Evil E. And one I'll always be about to say, but I don't think he want his name caught up in this shit. Because he backed out the game. I came back for something. 1990 something. I don't think it was then, I think it was another time. I think it was in the future, past that, more in the future. Not 96. It was 90 something. I went up there and he told me that 97, 98, I went up there. That's when he told me he don't do it no more. And I was like trying to pep him up and inspire him. He got serious. I can tell by his voice. He want me just stop that. I'm hurt. I'm mad. I'm hurt and mad. But I can't be mad toward him because now he gonna get mad at me. He already about mad. So now I'm mad and hurt. But he don't want to hit. Nothing. Good or bad about that. Change the subject. So I lost one of my best producers up there. I heard this shit before they locked me up. He had a bunch of shit. I heard it. One of the main people I was telling Salahuddin about Locking It Down record before he brought me puss ass Alexander Quintero and Kenneth Terry, Sherman Fisher. Before he even brought me, I told him what I was doing. I got people in Miami, Black Lion Records, Ponce and them Black Lion. Let me handle the creative side. This is what I told Salahuddin. I got this. Trust me. Salahuddin, he wants to Salahuddin wants to how them old people say, them old pontiffs and intellectual, Dr. Amos Wilson, Salahuddin want to be a fool. For a fool. It's bad to be a fool, but don't be a fool for a fool. Salahuddin want to be a fool for a fool. Fool ass niggas, right? And what happened, they were trying to groom me for people like Jay-Z, possibly Russell Simmons, I don't know. But people like Jay-Z, because they insiders. See, Mac, Miami Mac, Problem 13, Devastator X, these niggas insiders. Money D, they know and knew what certain people, I ain't gonna say his name, because he might not want me to put him out there like that. About being my source of information when it comes to that negative comic jive. But they knew. They knew. They knew then. And they knew, see, this, I'm gonna tell you what it is. They know I can do it. That's why. I don't like that. They know I can do it. Talent-wise, they know I'm a, yeah. So why waste all this talent on Locking It Down records and small-time jive? You know, time is of the essence. You know, time wait for no one. Why don't you go on and do it big like Freddie P? Because Puffy ended up having a talent show soon. I met Freddie P. I didn't even know Freddie P like that. I met Freddie P. Freddie P went off. He grabbed the mic, freestyle. It might have been on there, What You Gonna Do? Boom, boom, boom. Might have been that track. But Problem 13 played a track. Freddie P went off. Style, skill, unique. The South. Miami, you know, like, they're like the only nigga other than like Trick Daddy. I'm like, Soon after that, Freddie P was on South Beach somewhere for that talent show for Puffy, making of the band. And he won. He got in. He did X amount of episodes, whatever, years or whatever. Like the first making of the band, the first band of making of the band. I think that was the first ones. Puffy just stopped, but look at the timing. Every time I got something going on, there he go. On some new shit lined up with what I'm doing. Matter of fact, while we were recruiting people for my thing, which started out as my album, but how we got to the recruitment stage, Problem 13, trying to delay my album, came up with the idea of a compilation album with he, me, and other artists that we didn't even know yet. We had to find them. That's to delay my album and get more shine in the process, because he was a producer. You know, he want to be all in the video, shining suits, like Ashur Nice said. All in the video, shining suits. All in the video. If you don't want your CEO doing, come to Death Row. Right? He want to be all, lead the production board, the engineer like Slash Dash and DJ Chicka Chicka. He want to grab the mic and be on the camera. And what he came out with, dance motherfucker, ooh. Dance motherfucker, ow, hee, dance motherfucker. That's what he came out with. Couldn't wait. As soon as he got the green light, I said it was all right for a hard rock character, role player, It's all right to not be pigeonholed to the role of a hard rock, because he ain't no hard rock. Ain't nothing hard about him but his head and his heart. When it comes to doing right by his fellow brother and sister. From my observation. See? So he come out there and talk us into a compilation album. Sound good to me. He ain't said nothing. I don't know it's not gonna be done right with everything else we do. He supposed to have a solo, I supposed to have a solo. With the people who come along, same thing. You can find them, come on. Cause I'm like, I was doing it by myself. I've been through Shard. My people know Whoa. He was out. Baby Boy, Greggy Skunt, Icon Music Group. Eventually that's what they became, Icon Music Group. Right? Girly. I've been through a lot of people. Zoe Pound. I've been through a lot of people. Through my people and even personally. Frank and Felipe Diaz, I met at Miami Lakes Tech. Right? Bruce Weed. Used to stay on like 55th. North Miami, Northeast 2nd up North Miami. North Miami. Yeah, North Miami. Close to North Miami. Bruce Weed. I've been through a lot of people. Right? Yvette Howard, boyfriend Mike. He introduced me to somebody off the dome, off freestyle like no other. And I mean, he was riding for miles. He's still going off. I ain't even get to rap. I had something on tape. Me and Greggy Skunt made, which I don't like to rap like that anyway. I play a CD. I'm chilling, relax my vocal cord, smoke me some reefer or something. You know, sometimes I used to do the dirty sometime every now and then, right? Get on slight, right? Peeping. We ride. So I've been on the mission all through the mid-80s to the 90s, right? And now at this time period, this 97, 98, 99, now 2000 with Problem 13. Wise God. That started in 2000, late 99. Right? Come 2000, they're going to catch up with Bub. Corey Smith was on the run. Eventually he loses trial, get 2 death sentences, 2 life sentences. During this time period, I don't even know. No one around me told me that 83 people, sometime in 2000, while we formed, locking it down, boo-boo, while they steady trying to play me off the streets, trick me off the streets, trick me out my life, 83 people came to testify against Bud. We ain't talking about no old lady peeking out the window. We talking about road dogs, lynch mob, JD, ... And the way that paperwork read, but Booby Boys, look like a lot of that happened with them too. And when they put Booby and E4 at the top of the pyramid, it's quite likely they did the less talking. That's how you end up at the top, like, especially when they saying because they trying to get the time off of them. Oh, he told me, oh man, matter of fact, they went so far, 2 of his main chicks say he was, one of his main chicks say he was well fed. Talking about Bub. To insinuate all these grown people with these charges, we gotta treat him with kitty gloves, because they was, oh, Bub gonna hurt me if I don't go shoot a nigga in the head. Trav, they said Trav crib, they found signs of drug dealing in the residue from 1 kilogram of cocaine package, but not the key itself. But it had residue. Well, they strongly believe, damn, them niggas was fucking with keys. In the indictment pyramid, they named Trav the LT. Not of a whole, but of a whole organization. So he really, that make him bigger than LT. In all actuality, he's a lieutenant in the mob RICO organization. Not the whole LT. $1,000 a week and 700, depending on where you at, how they try. Might try it with 450 a week. If you see that, you know how they do. Fonzo, and you know how they do, right? Somebody told me Murph got knocked off recently. I don't know. Just why we on that subject. If you know, you know. Somebody told me Murph got knocked off by his mother crib, close to the field. But anyway, that's the time period. They just got bugged. Matter of fact, when I caught that time in Magistrate David H. Young's courtroom, the magistrate, I caught that time around that time. I said that before. I think I was trying to say something else. Bud was on the 5th floor. I don't think I was trying to say that. I was trying to say something. It slipped my mind. But I caught some time around that time too and got out. That's how I end up with what you see on Southern Affiliate. Not Volume 1. That's hawtyyyReddd, them down in 2005, 2006. The one released in 2000 / 2001. That was just called Southern Affiliate. It was even spelt different. I think the Southern was spelt correctly. The second was spelled like Ebonics. The hawtyyyReddd Junior Bong, right? From Black Eye 9. Purple Castle, Junior Bong. Now, that's why them sorry songs is on that package, that compilation album. Because we thought I might get 40-something years or 50, 60 years, something like that. They're looking at the priors. They don't want to hear that jive about Kangaroo Court. When it came to Officer Hine, at that point, it was just Officer Joe Wood. I ain't got the 3. It was just Officer Hine at the time and Darlin Mobley at the time. Police Inquisitionist agent of Rome, Hine, William B. Hine. Perpetrating as if the fraud of a duly elected officer. Now, Officer Agent Reynolds took me to jail for a case that got thrown out, but I was on bond for the Agent Gonzalez case from Winn-Dixie. That became my second bogus Kangaroo Court trial, bogus felony on the record. Lies on top of lies. So I'm in there fighting that. So they looking at these two like, oh, battery on the Leo? Robbery? Oh, man, that look bad. You got 10, 20 life out now, habitual violence finna been out. New gang time. Man, you talking about 40 to 60 years, man. Especially if you don't want to take a plea and you trying to run a record company. They know who the real CEO is. And they trying to figure out who the real CFO is. And you got the one red dump. Undone. You got people like that on there. They trying to figure out. And there's blood on that money, so they think. Everybody but me and Sal trying to figure it, because me and Sal know. What we telling y'all is the truth, but don't nobody believe that. That's why everybody who stood to benefit from moving forward, they kind of got happy when Sal said they ran out of money, because now they want to see which way you jump. When you reveal that in actuality, Sal and the other CFOs are money launderers and fronts for me and Mangani got going on, as well as others that I have been seeing around town, riding in donks, Lacs, Caprices, and other Chevys and whatnot, right? That changed from that to Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Vets, Escalades, Range Rovers. So over the course of that 10 years, they was waiting on me to, number one, be stupid enough to reveal why I chose Omerta, Mr. Murder, Sergeant Slaughter. That's the first test. They Prophet Muhammad, Isa alayhi salam, they say the first issues in the resurrection is going to be with the blood. Of all the sinners, they want to know about the bloodshed. Who, what, when, where, why. That's exactly how they did. they kept trying to figure out who you killed. Like, and they don't even know yet. You know, you talking all this untouchable, Scarface, Brad, Jordan levels, Spice One, like you got body, but your game so tight, you so G code, like you flogging, you know, for real. Just among the fellas. La Costa Nostra, not for me. One mobster to another. And I kill him with closed lips and kindness. Every time I see him trying to do that, you just got knocked off. Wouldn't go do it anyway, but most definitely now. Because I know any true nigga really wouldn't try to do you like that. He'll really probably advise you not to speak up on behalf of that. You let it rest. You doing good now, quit while you ahead. Now these niggas trying to have me played out. Possibly messed up. F the police. If I yaka, and to get around town, round and round, round it go, I get around. There it is. Tupac and Suge Knight in Vegas, right? Bum, 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 yeah. Because I did this and told. And a lot of times, these type of guys get caught up all the time. A lot of times, to impress upon you, I'm not lying, I will even incriminate other people. And start making it all too easy for the homicide detective and the magistrate and the state prosecutor, DA, district attorney. Just because I want my stripes. I want my flowers while I'm alive. I want the kudos and the perks and the slush fund and the double dip and all that kind of stuff streetwise. Plus, it's other jobs might come up. Juvie say, you're acting like a clown. Can't be acting like no clown. You gotta show you a real man. You stand on your, not to that degree though. Why I be dumb enough to incriminate myself? Thank God I had help. Because I haven't taken a person's life. Only person I can remember seeing dying, losing their life at the hands of the one who admitted himself that he did it, so he's safe. Because I didn't see on the record for the record who actually took his life on the record for the record, to be honest. And I try to act big and bad like I'm more somebody that I'm not. I'm gonna be real. I missed it. But Ricky Adams lost his life in a stockade, Dade County, I think B block, if I'm not mistaken, downstairs, toward the end, A side, if I'm not mistaken. And Nathaniel, Face owned up to it. Rumor has it Carroll City with the Wolfpack was trying to say he did it because he had got whooped up while he was laced up in his blanket, in his bed on the top bunk. I saw that. Ricky Adams snatched him out there and beat his, you know what? I seen Carroll City with the Wolfpack in the bathroom telling me he had a woo. And I'm trying to preach him up out of, tell him, look, you got to do a short time and you're going home. He trying to jam your time up. A lot of you niggas ain't going home. Face the state, baby. He a jailbird, blase squaze. Honestly, he kind of looked like he had a change of heart based on what I said. And I know he could see the sincerity in my eyes and my voice, and because we used to talk about Bible and this and that. They used to ask me a lot of questions because they saw me reading all the time. They read the Bible too. They used to have press circle. I'm a Muslim, so I don't pray in Jesus' name, so I wouldn't hold hands in the circle too tough. Right? Sometimes to show a solidarity, I might, especially when there's a lot of troublemakers in the cell, just to separate myself from those type. Because I do seem like a hard rock. A lot of times they don't know what I'm going to do in there because I'm always, right? I'm always doing stuff like that. Working out. You hardly see me shadow box. But you will see me work doing the basics, calisthenics. On the yard, dips, pull up, you will see that. Put my blanket on the floor with a little triangle, doing sit-ups, toe touches, supine bars, you will see that. I met Coach Nard Simmons, but Nard Simmons doing that. I was doing that on the daily in the cell before he started training us. They was wondering, him and Tallhead, was I one of them fools gonna try to take the house so I could be the one up there getting the trade at the gate, always in a correctional officer face, always in the nurse face. Stop rushing the bar. I hold that noise down, so I can get extra trades and special treatment from the correctional officers. Street food. Sometimes the correctional officers might give you half a Big Mac or something they ain't finished eating if they like. And you the type to keep the bullshit down in the cell. I'm not that type. I don't do police. I don't do corrections. I do my time. Don't do no homos. Don't do no shit starters. This is my family. This is my clan and tribe. I can't stress that enough. Too many people run around here acting like they don't know. This is South Florida, the Keys right there, Bahamas right there, Caribbean islands right there, Central South America. This is my home. This is my family. That material jive, I'm not gonna play out. I'm not gonna be played out of character for a Twinkie bar, a Snicker bar, maybe some sex with a male, maybe make enough money and convince a female correction officer at West Days somewhere. TGK, slipped my finger up in a hole. She done slid in her pants and her panties with a razor blade in the bathroom, came out. All right, 5 seconds. 2 strokes and stop. You can suck the juice off your finger, So, it's not worth it. The street cred, in case I do go home. They holler my name, bouncing off the wall. That's how Bub went down. They trying to give him forever. Booby ain't back. A lot of other people ain't back. Flower Band passed in there. Bunky Brown is deceased, whether he was free or not, I don't remember. But none of that is worth it for you to play yourself out for attention. If I was that type, I might have died this morning. Can't wait to get on, make a YouTube post about how I jumped out my whip and I told that sucker that bam, 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 ain't no telling. Nigga might have one this look. He had a book bag on his back too. Bitch might pull out something like this. Shit you don't even know the name of, some new shit. Tear all this up. Shit be all over the place. Spilled up. Right? Worrying about what somebody gonna say. Well, I got tried. Again. I was just talking about the other day. I got tried. Yeah, about the Alvarez Crawford fight. I couldn't see it. Bud gave Alvarez his belts back. He said he gonna have his custom made and let Canelo take them back home to his family and keep that in the family. Real boss shit. Canelo about to cry. Real boss, but that's good, man. That's good. They can go at it like that. Professional level, that's the next step in blood sport, boy. And still have love. All them boys from back in the day, Riddick Bowe, Big Daddy Bowe, Lennox Lewis, man, they got love, man. B-Hop. All that. That's why I'm hesitant to show all that, man. All that 52s and Yosho and all that stuff. People pushing me. Hey, you need to go online. You got to be responsible with it. My masters don't like to teach. A lot of them. They don't like to teach. And they don't teach like that. Some of them used to teach a little more. They kind of fell off. My direct teachers who taught me the most, they be like kind of shoulder on hold with me, and they ain't even got no disciplinary problems out of me. But one thing I do admit, a lot of people I deal with nowadays, for decades now, met me after 2000 when the album came out. They wasn't dealing with me face up like that, talking, hey, how you doing today? In a ride in the car, and I'll drop him off and pick me up from home. I might pick somebody up, drop them off. Most of these people, they knew my daddy, my mother, my grandfather. They don't know me like that. Last time I was around them, I was like this, tot, the tater tot. So my music came out first, as hard as I can get it with them bullshit tracks. And it was a crucial time period. That was 2000. If you know, you know. You might have to lace them up if some young ones around you. Green Beans, born in 1998. Stuff like that. Or the twins. The twins were born like 94. My sister twins. There's a lot they don't know about. Uncle Sam, Atlanta. One of his daughters. I had to remind her of the time Uncle Sam had me help them with their schoolwork. They were real young. Over there by Grandpa Villa, down the street from the White House, the federal penitentiary. Right? A lot of them don't know about this stuff, man. They can't see through the perpetrators like we can. All of them trying to stand up, rep their city. Most of them too dumb to even rep it properly. You gotta do a lot of research. Only thing you can rep is you, couple of your road dogs to a certain degree, and that's it. And a lot of times you don't know them be the ones end up surprising you on the witness stand. Let you know just how much road dogs you really got. Minus something on that witness stand doing this. Oh, Lord. Yeah. They don't know what made them streets. My generation can't do it. We can only submit what we know. Because I know for a fact, them dudes born in the early 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, my granddad born in 1950, shit. We don't know nothing about that. That's when it was it. Eddie Murphy teamed up with Richard Pryor, Della Reese, Red Fox and some more, and made Harlem Nights. Al Prophet, Gangster Report, talk about policy. Those are the days of yore. Policy came before the Indian Gaming Commission casinos and the Mafia casinos and all that. That was us. Dark, blacker than these pair of shorts. Lighter than me. Autochthonous, true, original ones here with all the gambling games. We taught them the games they know now, and we had many more. We had the gambling house. We had the running numbers and all the kind of playing skin or win, all the stuff we were doing. Al Prophet got facts. He got names, he got dates, he got receipts. Gangster Report. Check him out. I'm about to sign off. Y'all be careful out there. I told you some of them headings to look under. Click more under the title. When I have active, more is more active, and I have a letter. I done flipped through the whole alphabet. Now I'm on A1, B1, don't you want to B1? You know, lesson C1, C lesson 1. I might be on C at this point now, not D. Because I think a don't you want to be one? I think that's Lady Ray's quote. I think I should be on C1. I should be C1. I might have labeled that job wrong too. I gotta check that out. But that's with a lot of information that to support anybody who want to argue against what I say about immigration, thinking it's on some bigotry jive or some foolishness that's rooted in wars on top of wars fought on this soil. Blood letting. And we talking about centuries now on this soil. Why do I say, well, why don't we say, because they got an argument. The immigrants, they say, but we all brothers. They say, you know, we all brothers. The Mexico will go up into Texas and all. Yeah, I know. But you have a legacy up on the corporate ward nation state called Mexico, Belize, and stuff like that. Y'all need to go there because a lot of y'all can trace y'all ancestry far back there with that corporate war nation state who has committed torts going to the trillions and beyond. Fight the fight. Carry your cross. But it's not just that. The style and fashion that they do it here is a tool to undermine those indigenous or talking to the Midgard, North Gate, so-called African American. Poor white, what's the other one? Brown, that can trace their generation back, family generation back here. A lot of them can. Was here before this segregation. You had people could trace back to Cuba, Nicaragua and all that. You had that. That ain't nothing new. That's ancient. And they suffered here, under the colonists here. They took their land here and bought land and sold land. You can't buy and sell our land. So that's why the prophet said, keep your government name because you will do a lot of business in your government. Y'all better find out where y'all shit at. Get together. Stop being like some people I know. I ain't gonna say no name. Find out where your shit at. Get together and put your motherfucking foot down, no matter where on the globe that is. If it be here, so it be. So be it. But do it through the divine and national. Not that citizen, alien, all that, minus a lot of information. Because all they doing is continuing to starve us out on our own land. We shed blood. I told you about Fred Hampton, the Slauson Gang, Bunchy Carter, John Huggins, Geronimo Pratt did a whole bunch of years behind bars. Why? Because they were trying to feed children and women and elderly in the morning to have breakfast in their stomachs. Less likely somebody be on the side of the road, hey, you want a piece of salmon? Yeah, hutch. And they snatch them in the van, takes kidnap them. Kill them, rape them. If we raise our children, you got food at home. Don't take nothing from strangers. Don't take no drink. They starving. Coming up out the slums. Main ones who supposed to get 40 acres in a mule, Freedmen's Bureau. They in the slums and the projects. First in line, first in time. Because they the main ones they warring against to take the land from them. Air, water, and sea. The slums and the projects had poor white, black, brown. That's the globe. Here and all over the world is in your DNA. That's ancient. We world travelers. But if you have been undertaught for generations after generation on the Pacific area, you need to fight. You're the best one to do it. You have rights to certain things that are not artifacts, but records. Once the International War Court come down on them, they coming for them records. The book burning, some of the main books they burned, the book burning, was them type of records. So who is autochthonous in Al-Andalus? Now Spain. Right? Morocco, Northern Africa area, what they call Morocco now. Who is autochthonous here? What happened here? Under Admiralty law in violation of International War Court. That's the reset. That's the Republic. They are using us, pitting us against each other. Using you, the Jacobite, the supplanter. You become party to the fraud when you come over there like that, whether you know it or not. Because on the record, for the record, they say, hey, we gave out X amount of food stamp. Section 8, HUD. They just had a war against everybody who was on Section 8. Had HUD housing, had Fannie Mae and blase blah, balloon mortgage, all that. From lower income, poor, dirt poor, to even upper, beyond upper middle class. Getting screwed now by the system. Who put in generations of tax, blood, sweat, tears, served in the military. These are the people I'm talking about. That's not just African American. They fall under all nom de guerres, from white to so-called African American, black, and anybody else of Asian. You had a lot of people here before 1492 that fit that phenotype, who would be tricked and accepting that as a nom de guerre, as an identity. You can go to hell with that shit. And they have many other tactics to deal with us, to not relinquish the stranglehold they have on what is ours. And with that, I say Islam MOORS.